Hello, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome along if you're new. If you are new, don't forget to hit that subscribe down there, please, and it all helps. So, I have another kit review for you today. As I told you in my Jagdpanther review, Moss and I were looking on the Tiger Hobbies website after a live stream the other night, and he pointed this out and said, that's an interesting looking thing, and I thought, I'm going to get one. So I did. This is the US M76 Amphibious Cargo Carrier Otter, was its nickname, early production. They're just about to release a late production one as well. What a funny looking thing this is. I never knew it existed, to be honest. But Gecko do seem to be going down the Vietnam route. We've got the Sheridan to do from Riffield Model as well. But Gecko have also done that beautiful hovercraft type thing, which I'm also intending on getting. So yeah, Tiger Hobbies get these. Tiger Hobby are the importer for Gecko models, so go take a look at the website and have a look through and get yourself one. I'm also doing that Gecko Land Rover, which is an extremely complex little kit for what it is, but the detail is astonishing. So this is 35G M0102, and it's the early production one, as I said. It's a plastic model, not for kids under 14. Assembling and painting required, just the usual stuff on here. Normally we would get like metal gun barrel, workable tracks, workable suspension, photo etch, you know, but it's just all the general stuff on there. And we've got a map of Vietnam there. So going around the box, here on the side you can see 1/35th scale, made in China. We've got photo etch parts, decals, and we've got some scans, codes we can scan there to find out more about it. End of the box is just the artwork, and then here we've got some lovely images of the actual built model, which is what I like to see. Rather than CAD images, these are actual real images of the built model, so you can see all the little photo etch brackets and everything on there, which will drive some people absolutely crazy, but just stick with it, it's okay. And we've got a very open top there. Obviously it's a cargo, personnel, whatever carrier, and you've got a lot of radio gear and stuff in there. Something that is interesting, you look at this, you can see it's got windscreen. You can see the windows there, and yet when you look at the box art, it has an armour plate. So I'm not sure where that armour plate is, whether it's folded up, I can't see it on there. But anyway, I'm calling this a first look because it is literally my first look. So take the top off the box. You can see typical Gecko style, we've got the lovely strong cardboard box so nothing gets damaged. And then we've got a boatload of sprues bunged in there in bags. We've got wheels and tyres there. We've got some lovely clear parts on the top, which is nice to see. There's our main body sides. Plastic sprues, mostly individually bagged. No, there's 3 or 4 in there. There's some more bits and pieces. There's lots in it. Oh look, there's that hovercraft. So let's get all this out of here and then we'll have a look through in a minute. So we've got link and length tracks, and then we've got a great big instruction manual, which is huge. Really thick, anyway, really thick instruction manual. We've got photo etch parts and decals there. So let's start as we usually do by having a look through the instructions. Okay, so throughout the instructions here we've got some history about the actual vehicle itself. We've got English, we've got German, and we've got Chinese down in here. We've also got some other, I'm guessing this is Japanese and Korean over here. So, or one of them is, which is all written in hieroglyphics. So, basically, built by Pontiac, designed in the late 40s, first used in haste in the in Vietnam, and it was ordered into production in 1954, as you can see there. So, going over the page, we've got here. This is looking very, very Meng-like, isn't it? That looks very much like Meng, doesn't it? And then over here we've got the parts call out. So this is all our sprues, lots and lots of little parts, and lots of photo etch for us as well, which is nice. So starting here, we're going to build up the propeller. So this is like the outboard. Is there a stowed and a running position? And there is no option here for that, but it looks like it's got some sort of mechanism there. So this is for when it's doing its water part, because it's an amphibious vehicle. So we've got a screw there, or propeller, whatever you want to call it. Little photo etch brackets holding it all together, so that's cool. Not giving you an option for plastic parts. No, that's all plastic parts there. Then we've got photo etch. These days, you've got companies like Riffield Model are listening to us, and what they're doing here, like for example, this with Riffield Model, they would give us these two parts here and these 2 bits of photo etch, or they would have this part with those parts moulded on, and you just glue that into it. So, you know, Rifle Model will listen, maybe Gecko will, but there's a lot of people that don't like this sort of stuff. It's fantastic for detail, but it's very fiddly to build, and it can be a little bit weak if you don't have the right glues. Thoroughly recommend the VMS glues for your photo etch parts. VMS 5K Flexi 4CA 4PE, absolutely brilliant. So here we've got this bar of some sort, looks like some sort of guard over the propeller, and that's got photo etch brackets on it again. And then we've got this plate going underneath. This is the center lower hull section here, all going in. Building up our wheels, so we've got like car wheels with tires on them in the tracks, rather than having, you know, your normal steel discs or whatever. And then here we've got the sprockets going in, so that's our drive sprocket for the front end or the back end. I think it's the front end, isn't it? And then we've got some suspension shock absorbers or whatever going in here, and then the rest of the shock absorbers go in there. So you want to get yourself a nice sort of setup with a couple of bars or something, build all this up, get it all touching the ground, have it all parallel and facing forward. A little bit of time spent now will really pay off in the end. There we go. And coming over the page here, now we're going to make up our tracks. So link and length tracks. Way to do this would be to glue it all together and leave one joint, say that one there, so you can just spring them off and take them off for painting. So very nice indeed. Step 8 and 9 are for the wireless radio version only. You get two options in here. You can build it as a normal just cargo thing, cargo truck, vehicle, whatever you want to call it. And then there's the wireless version, which has all the radios and radio and gear in it. So depending which one you want to do. So if you want to add all this lovely detail inside, then go for the wireless radio version. If you don't, then don't bother. So it says here steps 8 and 9 for wireless radio version only. Steps 10 and 11 for wireless version only. And then we come on to 12 and 13. So I'm guessing that you just use this panel here and ignore all of this and just jump straight to there with that panel. Surely this webbing goes in, doesn't it? They're saying step 8 and 9 for wireless radio version only, but surely that webbing goes in even if it's not a wireless version. So be careful, have a look for your instructions and make sure you know what you're doing before you start. And then more radio gear going in here, as you can see. And then we're on to 12 and 13. We've got some little tow hooks or lifting eyes, whatever they may be. Some little handles and brackets going on to some hatches there. And then we've got a floor going in. We've got the rear panel there, and we've got that main panel there. As I say, I think that would be... Yeah, I'm sure you'd put that webbing in even if you were, even if it wasn't radio. And then here we've got this vertical unit, whatever that is, I'm not sure. I'm guessing the engine is at the front. I'm guessing the engine is at the front here, and this is some sort of, I don't know, other bits and pieces in there. I'm not sure, but we've got a lot of data placards in there. And then here, I've looked on Wikipedia, and there's very little information available about this vehicle. Very little. There's only a couple in museums, I think. So I've built up the seats here. We've got the driver's seat, the passenger seat going in there. And I've got this box and some more controls. We've got a dashboard going together. Looks like we've got decals for the instruments, which is nice. It looks like we've got handlebar controls, which is a bit weird. You think there'd be a steering wheel, wouldn't you? And then we've got this big box being built up here. So this is probably the engine cover. And then that there is going to be where the transmission goes through, I'm guessing. Got more photo etch brackets in here. More greeblies for control parts and everything. More control parts. And then we've got more control parts going in here. We've got a windscreen being built up, and there it is with the armor plate, and there it is without. So obviously make sure you know what you're doing. You've got little photo etch brackets to go in there, little grab rails or little rails to protect the wipers, whatever. So very interesting. So if you're going to have the armor plate on there, you don't fit the wipers. I think that's what they're saying. But hey ho, you got to work it out when you got a Gecko kit. And then here we've got the instrument panel going in with its handlebar type things. Fire extinguishers there. So we got a fire extinguisher being built up, and it's going in a photo etch bracket and being held on with a photo etch clamp. Got another fire extinguisher over here. So if I were you, when you build the kit, do those first and then leave them to dry. So you got that nice hard gloss red paint rather than getting to this point and having to stop. You make sure you get all your interior painted as well before you put them in. perhaps put all the brackets in and leave them till the end. Photo etch grill going in there and a cover going on the outside, so I guess you have the cover or not, that should say optional. And then we've got the bolt here, we've got a bulkhead with some little gussets on it there. Some more radio gear going in if you're doing the wireless version. And then we've got the sides coming together, front going on. Here's the option with your armour plate on the windshield. Got some pipe work in there. Very interesting. I wonder what this big vertical upright thing is. And then we've got some supports here. These are supports for the roof section going to be going on. And then we've got the actual roof section itself with some bits and pieces. I'm guessing that is a jig for folding the photo etch. I wish they'd done that on the Land Rover for the brackets that hold the starting handle. But that looks like a jig, so you just bend that piece of photo etch over that jig by the look of it. DA7, DA9, so they are optional bases, I'm guessing. Yes, bases for the antennas, so this is going to be wireless or non-wireless. And then the antenna here, it's telling you to grind that off, drill a hole, and then fit some stretch sprue. Okay. Coming over the page, we've got some hatches going on. So the hatches are closed in this one. I don't think you can have them open. It looks like there's no option to have them open, which seems unusual seeing as you've got a lot of lovely detail in there. And then we've got some detail here going on the inside of the roof. Adding the roof and the engine cover. I'm assuming that's an engine cover. And then you've got this big door going on the top here. Oh no, that's the engine cover, sorry. Then we've got doors in the back here for the rear entrance. And then we've got this big cover here. We've got some cans being built up. Photo etch straps holding them in. Photo etch brackets on these corners. And we've got some more, these are big boxes going on the side. I'm not sure whether they're fuel tanks or what they are. Got the doors here going on. You've got windows. I'm guessing you can have the windows half down because they show it on the box as half down, and I've seen a built one with the windows half down. And then here we've got lots of little greeblies and details going on. We've got tools going on, got shovel, axe head and everything, pick head and everything. More photo etch brackets here. Oh dear. It's great when you see it like that, and then when you find out it's like 1 millimetre wide. And then we've got another door going on here. Spare wheel, another door there, as you can see. Got the hinge detail, which is very nice indeed. I'm guessing you can have these doors open if you want to. See no reason why you can't. Almost looks like it's going on backwards, doesn't it, with the hinges on the outside. Then we've got another, I'm guessing that's a fuel tank going on the side there, and then all the pipe work going in here. Lots and lots of greeblies, grab handles, headlights and everything going on the front. And then we've got these doors going on the top. So obviously you can have those open or close, whatever you wish. I'm not sure if they just opened and led flat or if they opened and stayed vertical. Can't believe they're not giving us an option in here to have them open. Because if they do, you would think they'd have a chain on them or something, wouldn't you? I'll have to find a picture of one with the doors open. And then here we've got the 50 cal going together. So you've got the option of the muzzle on the end or not. And then all that's going into this. We've got some toolbox, ammo boxes with our ammo in there, double layer, so that's going to look really nice. And then here we've got the gun mount with the armour plate going around the outside, mounted onto the roof there. Very nice. It looks like that big triangular section at the middle is the where the air intakes are for cooling the engine, and the exhaust is coming up out of there as well. So here's the one with no wireless radio, and here's the one with, and the only outward difference I can see there is the actual antennas themselves. So there we go. And then finally we've got some colour call outs. So we've got Con Killer 3rd Motor Transport Battalion, and then here we've got Con Killer 9th Motor Transport Battalion. Okay, 69, 68. Are they both the same vehicle? 221, 889. No, but they're both called Con Killer. Okay, interesting. Again, you'd have to go through the book and make sure you know what you're doing. This is what they tell you at the start of the manual. All the kits do, don't they? They always say read the instructions thoroughly. With a Gecko kit, you really need to. I'm going to get that. That's really nice. I want to get that. I'm going to order it. It's very nice indeed. Right, so that's the instructions dealt with. In here we have decals and PE. So let's have a look at what we've got here. So our PE, typical Gecko style, is very, very thin but beautifully done. So you can have a good old ganders at that. Lots of tiny little brackets and stuff, straps and bits and pieces. Very nice, but you can see how fine the mesh is on those side pieces there. It's very nice indeed. And then we've got decals here. So we've got the two different types. If you notice in here, you've got this type of face on the front with the teeth, and then you've got this one, which is the other version, which is slightly different, has the eyes on the side. Oh, I noticed the paint call outs are all in mission models, so they've sold their soul to mission models, which is a shame. Never mind, I wish the companies wouldn't do that. There we go. And then on here we've got all these data placards as well. Very nice indeed. Very, very nice indeed. So, there we go. Right. So what we've got here, we have a resealable bag with some small sprues in. So this is very mini art like, isn't it? So we've got two of these sprues here. So these are this is DE sprue. So we've got a little seat there, a little bucket seat for the driver and co-driver. And then we've got a fire extinguisher there, you've got the nozzle for the fire extinguisher, we've got some bits and pieces here. Little bits of greeblies and stuff. So we've got two of those. And then we've got two of these as well. And this is DB. So there's your Aston Martin DB7, there's your DB9 there. Yeah, very crisp, very clean moulding, no real visible parting line. Lovely. Antenna mounts there. Very nice indeed. Surprised nothing's broken with it all just rattling around in that bag like that. Saying that, Tiger Hobbies packaging is always exceptionally good. So here we go. That's inside the bag. Oh blimey, look at this. Great lumps of grease everywhere. I think we'll leave that one till last in case I get grease all over my fingers. Okay, so here we've got a non-resealable bag. So we'll have a look in this one. Let's get our knife. I wasn't expecting to have to cut bags open. It's not usually the case with Gecko. Oh, come on. Right. So this is our main lower hull section, which is very nice. We've got raised rivet detail on there, which will be great with the dry brush on it. Clearly slide moulded. So beautifully done. No expense spared there. It's slide moulded. Yeah, that's almost the cost of fortune. Up, down, ends and sides. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at the detail on there. If the camera would focus on it. Come on, camera, focus on the part. There we go. Get this out of the shot and then hang on. There we go. Now you can see it. Lovely, lovely slide moulded detail. And you've got all that lovely raised rivet detail on the sides there. And then all that lovely detail around the bow. We've got the upper covers. Very nice. There's the front, there's the top, there's our windscreen. Internal detail on there. No ejector pin marks on here at all, so the interior is going to remain ejector pin mark free. Ejector pin marks in there, but they don't matter because they're in the engine cover. No doubt there will be an aftermarket resin engine set or something for this. Then we've got another non-resealable bag. So they've obviously realised they can save a penny by having non-resealable bags. So we get all those out. Right, what have we got here? We have, this is CE. So there's probably going to be 2 of these. Yes, there are, because we've got these side, I'm guessing, are fuel tanks. We've got jerry can parts there. We've got hatch covers, top of the jerry cans. Well, we've got the sides there, got the top there, the handle there, and then the spout there. Blimey, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts per jerry can. Lovely little grab handle there on the end, beautifully moulded. Again, we've got some lovely raised rivet detail on there, which is very nice indeed. So there's 2 of those. And then here we have, this is CB. So lots of lovely detail on here. We've got our instrument panel there. We've got all those lovely radios there. It'd be a shame not to put those in, wouldn't it? And then have the doors open. There's that pipework that goes in there. There's a radio rack here. Lots of little knobs and switches. There's our ammo belts for our guns. Very nicely done. Spare wheel there. There's the ducting that goes between the engine and the cooling area. Lovely. And then here we've got, there's that bulkhead. Got holes to drill in there if you're going to put the wireless stuff in. There's that big central column, the air cool. I'm going to call it the air cooling column. We've got some sprocket parts, I'm guessing, there. We've got some suspension parts here. You can see again we've got that lovely raised rivet detail on there, on all these external panels. It's a lovely kit, isn't it? Another non-resealable bag. So here we have BC. So we've got our upper doors there by the look of it. There's the armour plate that goes over the windscreen. We've got some lovely slide moulded parts here, boxes, radios, whatever they are. Lots and lots of little greeblies. Lots and lots of tiny little parts on there for you to have some fun with. We also have interior door detail on those hatches and no ejector pin marks, which is great. Thank you very much, Gecko. So that's really nice. There's that rolled up curtain that goes on the bulkhead. Radio faces there. And then here we have B. It's got those hatches that are on the front. There's the rail that goes around the gun. There's the gun mount by the look of it. There's the rear doors, upper hat, oh no, that's the engine cover there. There's the armour plate for the gun. That looks like a radiator of some sort there, doesn't it? We've got the screw there, the propeller for the back end. Nicely done. And here we have an openable bag, which is a nice touch. So there's our main side covers. Again, we've got this beautiful raised rivet detail. And for those of you that tell me you don't need to wash your plastic parts, have a look at that. Okay, there are people that tell you don't need to wash your plastic parts because they haven't got any oil on them. They have, and we'll see that properly in a minute. So yeah, this will definitely need a wash because it's covered in oil. And here it's covered in ejector pin marks. But I'm looking, maybe they're under the floor. There's one there, that'll be hidden, that'll be hidden. I'm guessing these are maybe hidden, but they have got ejector pin marks there. But they don't seem to have put any in this area here, so I'm guessing they've put these all in a hidden spot. But they're nothing to fill anyway, because it's just a flat panel. So, not a real issue if they do need to be filled. But funny they put this panel here, which is just basically a flat panel, in a resealable bag. And yet all those little sprues with all the little tiny parts on that can get broken get chucked in a bag together. This one's individually bagged as well, as you can see. Lots of little tiny parts on there. So there's our gun barrel. There's our breech, slide moulded, beautifully done with the cooling jacket on it. Gun mount there, ammo boxes. Really, really nice. Very nice indeed. Clear parts, look at those in a minute. And then here we've got lots of sprues. So we've got, what have we got in here? Are they all the same? They look like they're all the same. There's lots of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 8 of these. So there's our wheels with the tyres on. There's no tyre lettering or anything, which is a shame. There's no tread. I'm guessing they wouldn't hardly tread. But you can see your lovely wheels with all the central detail on them. Very nicely done. I'm guessing they're all, yeah, they look like they're all the same. So there's 8 of those. So lots and lots of wheels to build. And then I've got this clear sprue here. Now this should be lovely because it's all just flat panels. Yeah, very nice indeed. Beautifully done. It's got a bit of a shadowing around the injection point there, you can see. But that won't show on the finished model. We'll probably put some dust on them anyway. And then here finally we got Mr. McGreasy. So we've got a bag here, so we've got sprues there. We've got this sprue here. Okay, so there's 4 of these HB sprues, and this one here has the great chunks of grease on it. So please don't tell me your parts don't need to be washed. So we're going to put that over there to one side a minute. We'll have a look at one of these non-greasy ones. So you can see here we've got our sprockets. Very unusual sprockets, but they must be unusual tracks. We'll have a look at those in a minute. We've got suspension parts here. Is that an idler there? And I'm assuming these are individual track links, are they? The suspension part there, which is very nicely done. Slide molded, so you get the weld detail and the bolt detail on there. Beautifully done. It's a lovely kit, isn't it? And then here we have our tracks. So again, nice to see no ejector pin marks on the tracks, which is nice to see. They're very strange tracks. They're probably rubber belts or something. Again, I'll have to do some research on that. And you can see where the tyres run in here. The sprockets are going to grab on those sections as well. You can see it's like a double width track for stability. I did see a picture on Wikipedia of them going through a swamp. It was like literally, you couldn't walk through it, but this thing was just driving over it. So very, very nice. So there we go. In fact, I won't put those back in there because of all that grease, and I'm going to leave those out. I'm going to leave that one out because I'll give it a clean now. So there we have it, guys. That has been a quick review, or a first look, of the US M76 Amphibious cargo carrier. And what a beauty it is. Very, very nice indeed. I've got to get one of those. So, yeah. Interesting little vehicle. I don't think it's that little either. I think it's quite chunky. But very interesting tracks. Really interesting tracks. Yeah, they were individual track links, all those little bits. So, I didn't notice actually. Do we have moulded in? Yes, we do. We have moulded in sag on that upper run there. Look. Nice. Very nice. So yeah, I think the tracks are going to make or break this model because they're such an eye catcher because they're so weird. There we go. Beautiful. Right, so there we are. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed that. If you want to get yourself one of these, there's a link in the description down below. You can get on over to Tiger Hobbies and get one. And yeah, I'm going to be getting one of those and reviewing that very soon as well because I really like that. I really do like that. I saw that Brett from High Altitude Scale Modelling has done a review of that, and it does look very, very nice. Anyway, and there's this one which is due out later this year. This is the late production version of this model, so I don't really know what the difference is. Who knows? Looks like the gunner's got a seat, and on this one he doesn't. I know he's sitting on the roof there, isn't he? I don't know. Anyway, I'll stop waffling. I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.